Well, I'm going to start this video off. If you guys remember, if you guys catch live streams quite a while ago now, by the time you watch this video, it'll be about a couple months. I tried to live stream in my garage, but it was breaking up and everything else. Well, Alex from Building Sys sent me this through Amazon. It's a Unify Wi-Fi extender, so I'm going to install that right now, so I don't have to worry about ever having that issue again. So I want to thank you, Alex. You didn't have to. This was actually pretty expensive, but it's very much appreciated. It'll help out the channel for sure for live streaming outside in the garage. All right, everybody, welcome back. I hooked up that Wi-Fi last night and it seems to work okay. I don't know if it has any more range than what my factory one did, but let's get back to business. We're going to start gutting this wiring harness. One of the first things we're going to have to do, of course, is gut everything off of it, all the loom, expose all the wires. But I had this come in the mail the other day because I want to do some experimentation on a new log splitter, and this is going to be using a screw. So I have a Honda GX160 in the garage. Now if I use a gear reduction of 6-to-1, it should have enough power to split some logs. Not with this piece, but I'm going to use a 60mm screw. But I've done some experimentation with this one, but the problem is that I need to weld this piece on there, because if you need to reverse it, well, it just unthreads itself. So I'm going to weld this up, and then I'm going to do a little quick demo for you guys to show you how this works for splitting. That's what I'm saying. Something like this. Whoops. Bigger screw. Honda GX160 mounted up top here was a screw. Take logs like that, feed it in, split it. I think it'll work out all right. So I split all this kindling with it. Way easier than using a hatchet. Now this one here is just designed to make kindling, so near the edge. Alright, let's try something a little bit bigger. I got this bigger one here that I tried to drill right through there and it didn't work, so I'm gonna go right on the edge here. Got that knot. So that's an example where it's not going to work out too well, because I got a knot right here, so if I try to punch it through right here, all right, let the fun begin. This is gonna be part of a long process of stripping everything down and gutting it. I bought all new wire looms, so let's just start removing everything. Once we get everything naked, then we can start stripping. So much of this factory tape. Now I got this plastic thing to split. Let's cut through these tabs and be done with it. Oh, this should just pull out of there. This big mess is the fuel injection rail. As you can see right there on the floor, this is a very painful process of stripping this wiring harness down. Now, if you have a sewing kit in the house, the seam ripper right here works awesome for dealing with the tape. You just got to be careful when you're using it, you don't end up stabbing yourself with it, because that'd be very easy to do. For sure. Oh, just like that. Fuck me. Oh, fucking cocksucker. Ah, fuck. Jesus, motherfucker. Ah. Got myself right there. So, new rule. Use the tool and go away from yourself. Like I said, very dangerous. Well, that was a bit of work. Now we can start gutting about 75% of this harness, I betcha. Just gonna get ready for fire time. Fedora's gonna come over. This actually won't take as long as I thought to do. Other than that, right now it's story time, and I'm getting a haircut next weekend because I'm heading out to Cuba. So I'm gonna get my hair cut and my beard trimmed so I look a little bit more respectable, but right now it's story time. Some things with fellow co-workers, especially the young generation coming up now, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to put everybody in the same boat because there are some good young people who are very smart, but some individuals, however, just put the bolt in the fucking hole. When you're working on something, especially at your job, you should try to use some finesse and some pride to make the things work. So one of the things we're doing is on a vehicle for the hydraulic setup is that the hydraulic pump is driven from the crank pulley off of the engine. So the vehicles are designed that there's a cutout plate, a square. And you'd think if you're the person who's going to cut that square out, you'd cut in between the lines. That's clearly showing to cut it out. But instead, you know, this individual, not going to mention any names, savagely just cut it right through, fucking cut like beyond the lines. It was just a fucking mess. I actually had to show a couple people and actually show my boss. And I'm like, this is unacceptable, because when the client comes to pick up their vehicle, if they're doing an inspection, something like that, they're going to see, and they're going to frown upon that. Like, put some quality in your fucking work. That being said, each video brings us closer to startup. Well, this is it. After today, it's going to be winter. Finally get to try out the plow, hopefully. Supposed to get 7 centimeters of snow by Wednesday. Snowed earlier, but it's just cold and gray. And holy frig, shut her down. Just got liquored last night having a fire with Fedora. Had an old classic Chilkoot, getting low on those. Moosehead from previous camping trips. And when Fedora's in the States, he picked this one up for me. Cocoa Cow Chocolate Milk Stout, which was actually damn good. Definitely like drinking chocolate milk with alcohol. It's pretty good. My head is feeling it today, though. Got the heater fired up. Gonna continue working on this harness. Cut the drivers. And the ejector driver Our ejector harness is out. Plug here was never used on my Jeep, so I snip it. I did my best to identify plugs, but sometimes you come up with one and you're thinking, I probably don't need it, but do I remove it right now or wait till I find out? Now, this is your camshaft sensor. This black and blue wire is your ground. It's going down there. Two of these wires we're going to, one of the wires of this is going to be reused for the TAC emulator, which is probably going to be this one right here. Guaranteed. So I'm going to actually tape that. So I'm going to take a break from the wiring harness right now. There's a few more things I need to figure out that'll have to be determined once I hook it up to power. One is to figure out the neutral safety bypass. So when I crank it over, I could have power going down to my ignition starter right here. I need to figure out which one will connect to the reverse lights. Should be in one of these plugs. And also if there's a brake interlock for the torque converter control as well, coming off the brake pedal. Well, let's put this new starter in. If you guys watched the previous video where that starter I got was shot, so had to get a new one. Did come with a test sheet, so either it's bullshit or it's legit. One of the things when I was doing the ground is I removed the paint off there to help grounding with the starter, even though the bolts themselves will ground. This is the moment when you're too lazy to get up and get an extension, so you're just gonna lay on the ground and do the last bolt up by hand. Alright, so the battery cable had to be ground down a little bit. I took off a little bit off the edge there, and then on this back side, so I can get it to fit onto the terminal. A couple things I never really thought about until now is that, well, one, the starter is going to be really close to the exhaust dump. I'm not sure how I feel about that. But also when I went with the Novak conversions motor mounts, ideally I should have went with the bolt-on ones instead of the welded ones, because I'm realizing now, because of this long bolt, if I ever had to replace the rubber isolator bushings here, it would be a total bitch to get that out because of that long bolt. Not sure how I feel about that. Need to put the rear lights back in, and I also find this may come in handy yet. That was originally bolted on the side, but that won't work. I need to figure out where the air system's gonna go, but I may go to there. That way, that was the original alternator wire coming off the Jeep battery harness. And I'll connect it to there, then I got another red wire I'll string across to the alternator here. But I need to figure out the air intake much later on. But I think I might be safe there. Or I can even move it around a little bit. That's a weird way for that bolt to rust out. Just about to install it for the tail light, and I'm like, what the heck? Grade 8 it is. Little by little, all those boxes will get used up. Put one tail light in. If you guys remember back in the day, I had the tail light grill guard on there, and decided I'm not going to go that route. I'm just going to go just plain tail light. Got one hooked up for testing purposes. This video is going to be cut short, unfortunately. Spent a lot of time on that harness, but I got the harness where I want that. In the next video, I can put the battery back in, hook up the harness, figure out the last of the circuits, finish off that, tidy up the harness, install that back in, put the LS harness in, build the exhaust, fix the radiator, get the computer tuned. I'm going to get someone to tune it first, and then I'm going to purchase HP tuners afterwards and do any kind of modifications. But for right now, to save myself the headache, because everything seems to be going downhill, I'm just going to spend like a couple $100 and get someone to do it for me. And yeah, we're getting closer. We're getting closer to startup. That being said, I think it's motherfucking beer time. Fedor brought me a bunch of beers, so I'm going to try one of them. Let's try this Rogue Bat Squatch Hazel India Pale Ale. What's the percentage of this one? 6.7%. All right, it's motherfucking beer time. Rogue Bat Squatch. Fedor got me from his little adventure down in America. Let's have a taste here, shall we? Fedor always brings me beers back from his adventures. That's a bold flavor indeed. Bold flavor. Once again, I want to apologize for the video, but the next video where I start doing some electrical testing, working on the wiring, everything will start making sense. I don't want to jam-pack everything into one, and plus, the weekend's over. This is not a... Doing YouTube videos is not a full-time job for me. I only come out here on the weekends now, considering that's winter time, to work on stuff. And it is what it is. I got a full-time job right now until layoffs, which I probably, hopefully, will be able to work for another couple more months. Who knows? The economy's pretty bad here, but it is what it is. Afterwards, I'll have to try to figure something out, but motherfucking beer time. Oh, yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions or comments, post them below. Otherwise, I want to thank you guys for watching.